Okay, thanks for staying with us. We're still reviewing Vanguard.
Yeah, so the manager of Century Home Hotel in Owelogbo, Isoko North Local Government Area of Delta State, and 3 others have been arrested by the police operatives over the mysterious death of a lodger. It was gathered that the hotel owner and his wife were also invited for questioning, but have since been released when they were found innocent. So the hotel had been sealed off by the officials of the Isoko North Local Council, and the community sources had claimed the 4 suspects were arrested in connection with kidnapping and rituals, particularly regarding the disappearance of the lodger, Mr. Sunday Ogufota, who had traveled from Lagos to attend the funeral of a relative. So according to the sources, said the disappearance of Mr. Ogufota was reported to the police, and during the preliminary investigation, the police operatives allegedly found some incriminating evidence. As a result, the hotel manager and 3 other suspects were then arrested. So according to the story, they said they also found a POS machine and other valuables of a POS operator who was earlier killed in the same hotel. That was recovered by the police. So according to the story, they said the man had traveled to Isoko to attend the burial all the way from Lagos, and he lodged on Friday night. Then afterwards, his wife was trying to reach him, but could not. And they kept calling. Thankfully, he had told his wife the exact hotel that he was going to lodge. They had to come down there to look for him, only for them to break open the hotel room. The hotel attendants said they had no customer like that. So she insisted that my husband came here. My husband chatted me from this place, only for them to break. They found the man dead. He was tied up with bruises all over his body, lying on the bed naked. Wow. So they have been suspecting that hotel. Yes, I don't think they have that. They're suspecting that hotel. There was also another POS operator that was killed in that same hotel. So they had to first seal off the hotel, arrest everybody, then started their investigations. This is just wickedness.
Of course. The political drama in Rivers is, of course, brewing. A group of lawyers have come together. They say a host of lawyers and group yesterday have complained about the suspension of all the political appointees of the Rivers State governor, that were appointed by the Rivers State governor. So all of those political appointees have been sacked, and they said it was illegal. Many SANS lawyers are saying that even if he wants to sack, he shouldn't have sacked the Attorney General of the state, that if he wanted to sack their political appointees, they use plenty English and legal language to describe the illegality of giving birth to a legality. That's from Mohammed Hassan. And he was saying that the appointment of the creating this state of emergency is already illegal. The fact that, yes, there was crisis brewing, but the crisis is between the governor and the minister of FCT, but one party is getting flayed, but the minister of FCT is still in the position, and it still looks like from the handwriting on the wall, his people will now get into power, so that it's an unfair, or it looks unfair according to unfair outcome, that he should also have been suspended as well. That's the FCT minister should have been suspended since he was involved in the crisis in Rivers State, because they took out the governor and his people without affecting him.
But
long and short of what is happening is
more like speculations. Is the evidence on paper?
Okay,
that's why they can't just pick
the word on the street.
Word on the streets,
we know the word on the streets, but
okay, the Nigerian Tribune article rubbishes link with Sanwo-Olu. I've never met him. Oh wow, I had no transaction with him. Okay, Nigeria's economy achieving stability, says Finance Minister. I think a story. Reps have received decision on bill to stop VP governors and deputy governors of immunity. Sharia, I will abide by Constitution, says Makinde. UBA charts path for 2025 to focus on innovation, digital transformation, and sustainability. Mahama briefs Tinubu on Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger mission. And again, Senate throws out motion to immortalize Nwosu, observes 1 minute silence. Okay, which story?
I have the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edun, said Nigeria's economy has achieved relative stability over the past 18 to 20 months. He says, according to him, the economy is has narrowly avoided collapse, having survived on illegally borrowed central bank funds far beyond regulatory limits. He says we're now, where we are now is that in the last quarter of 2024, the economy grew at roughly 3.84%, which is close to the annual target of 3.4%. Then looking at the metrics, inflation has started to slow down. It dropped by 1.3 percentage points between January and February, and food inflation is also declining. Additionally, the cost of petroleum and energy is down due to sectoral dynamics. He noted that stabilizing the exchange rate had positively impacted imported goods and services such as healthcare and education, and so on and so forth. He revealed that the balance of trade was positive, with government revenues increasing by 20% in 2024. He said the economy is stabilizing, the budget deficit was reducing, debt servicing as a percentage of revenue has dropped. All economic indicators are moving the right direction. He also talked about agriculture, where, you know, the government will continue to improve it by the dry and wet season farming, and so on and so forth. So based on that, it seems that we're on the up and up. I guess for those on ground, we're still waiting to feel the impact of this positive numbers.
I was waiting to hear
statistics.
that, not felt it.
Okay, so the Ghanaian president, John Mahama, has expressed concern over the complexity of efforts to reintegrate Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali back into ECOWAS, saying that it's not as easy as we think. He was in Nigeria speaking to newsmen after the meeting with our president on Thursday. He said that his visit was aimed at briefing Tinubu, the ECOWAS chairman, on his recent diplomatic mission to these various states. He also came to honor him and thank him to come around for his own inauguration and to brief him also on all these visits. But he said it's not as easy, it's very complex, and it's a complicated situation, and it's not as easy, and that we think that they'll continue to dialogue and hope for a positive outcome at some point. I'm really hoping that they're able to resolve it. But the way that Burkina Faso...
not even with the one that the Nigerian gave himself 5 years. Please, it's not going to happen. Let me take the story of Oyo State. So the Oyo governor has said that he would abide by the constitution. He said that his statement was taken out of context, that in the newspaper he read that he said he will go to court for interpretation on the Sharia panel that is ongoing in Oyo. That's not what he said. That his position was that he made a statement when the Muslims in Southwest came to his office that they should not, he will not encourage discord amongst ourselves, that even within family, when there are issues, we don't take ourselves to court. We try to find ways to resolve it. That the interpretation that came out in paper was like he was going to go to court. However, generally, he would abide by the Constitution. Whatever the Constitution has said, if people choose to take their issues to the Sharia panel in Oyo State, is good for them. There is also the court that would form an alternative dispute resolution mechanism for the states, and that if anything the Constitution says, it would abide by it. If people choose to go to the Sharia panel to resolve their issue, good for them. If they choose to go to the courts, good for them as well. That it's just about creating alternative, and that is not against anything that is constitutional. It would abide by the Constitution. Okay. That's the long and short of it.
That's it on the Tribune. Final paper, The Guardian. Reps more return to parliamentary system, age limits for politicians. I have not received recall notice from INEC, says Natasha. NBS needs $15 million yearly to achieve data integrity, says World Bank. Sislak says Rivers Sole administrators' actions therein threatened democracy. And Lagos has deficit of 30,000 doctors, nurses, other health professionals. And the Southeast senators lobby Tinubu as Senate rejects motion to honor Wosu. Okay.
I have a human interest story there. So the police in Edo State have arrested a 34-year-old Iyayo Mokaro for allegedly killing his elder brother after a heated argument at Uzala community in Edo State. So according to the Edo State Police Command, the victim, identified as Friday Omokaro, sustained fatal injuries during the altercation, which escalated into violence. So the spokesperson for the command, CSP Moses Joel Yamu, was the one who disclosed the details of the incident in his statement, and he said about 3:30 p.m. officers and local vigilantes responded to reports of murder. He said upon arrival, authorities discovered Omokaro's body and promptly transported him to a nearby medical facility where he was pronounced dead. The police also recovered a weapon, which was a cutlass, believed to have been used in the attack. Now, initial investigation indicated that a misunderstanding between the two brothers had prompted them to confront each other, which had ended tragically. So the younger brother has since been taken into custody and is undergoing further investigation. Though he has confessed to the crime, they are now saying that he's expected to face formal charges in court soon. Okay.
Yeah, I have the Senator Natasha Akoti-Duanga. has denied receiving any notification on petition for her recall from INEC. When she was contacted for confirmation of the notice from INEC, she said that she had not received any notice from the electoral body questioning if INEC publishing the notice on a social media handle suffices. She says, I haven't been served. I will ask my lawyers. So on Wednesday, INEC officially accepted the petition seeking the recall of the senator. And then after the petitioners purportedly provided required contacts and details, then INEC had initially rejected the petition because of the absence of verifiable contact information. So obviously, maybe they have that now, and that's why they've accepted it. And it has moved to the next phase, where it will scrutinize the submitted signatures to verify if they meet the constitutional requirement of more than 50% of the 474,554 registered voters in Kogi Central. The electoral umpire also confirmed that a formal notification letter has been sent to Senator Natasha informing her of the petition for the recall. Then we have the electoral college that explains that it's a non-partisan body involved in this process, and they would do everything to make sure that it's not politicized. The process is not politicized, because once it is, it will erode the credibility of this process. So we'll see, how this plays out.
All right, that's all we can take on Front Page Review this morning. When we come back, we want our special feature for today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.